Hey guys, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonette, and if you are new here, welcome. All right, so today I am working on this beautiful little dresser. It is on a smaller version, but it's bigger than a side table or nightstand. So I love this size of dresser because it could be used as a console table, as a side table, as a dresser. So I'm really excited. It's in really good shape. I love the hardware, and I can't wait to get started. Alright guys, so as always, I remove all the hardware from my furniture before I do anything with them. These hardwares are beautiful. I've never seen them before, and they're in really good shape. So I am so glad because I get to keep them and reuse them. I am giving everything a good vacuum, just getting rid of any dirt, debris, cobwebs. And then of course I gotta wipe everything down and scrub it down with some crud cutter. Crud cutter is my preferred way of cleaning my furniture. I do use some Awesome from the Dollar Tree and is a lot less expensive. It does work the same, but crud cutter I think works just a bit better. I do like to wipe everything down with it, and I do like to then wipe with a regular wet clean rag, wipe off any excess crud cutter because I do not want any of the detergent to be still on the furniture. Alright, so I am starting with one coat of primer. I don't believe that this dresser will bleed through. It didn't have any raw wood, and it's not very dark toned. However, I've learned my lesson in the past, so why not? It's only one coat, and the Kiehl's, I'm using the Kiehl's primer with the stain blocking formula, and it works really well. So I'm just going to add one coat on the whole thing. A lot of you have asked why sometimes I paint my furniture or my dressers with the drawers in instead of removing them like I did here. So my rule of thumb is if the dresser's drawers close and they are closed, when they close the drawer, they go inside the dresser so it doesn't overlap, I paint them on the dresser. If the drawers overlap, like in this case, when I close the drawers, it overlaps over the edges of the opening, then I remove them because I want to be able to paint those edges. So that's kind of why I do it that way. All right, so now I am using my preferred chalk paint by Rust-Oleum, and it's in the linen white. Now don't get me wrong, there are many good quality chalk paints out there, but this is what the Rust-Oleum I prefer because it is very inexpensive, budget friendly, and that is what I'm all about. So I am using my chalk paint brush that I love. This brush is amazing. I have linked all of my favorite products down below from my Amazon favorite things. All right, so as you can see here, I am doing sideways motions. Now, I did the up and down motion for the primer. Now I'm doing a side motion for the first coat of chalk paint. That is to give it a texture that I like. I don't use it all the time. This texture is almost like, if you can see it here, it's like a fabric texture. It has lines going down, lines going sideways, and it just gives it a cool texture. It does not, you know, you can do it however you want. Sometimes, every so often, I like to do that. So that's kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but that's kind of what it looks like. All right, one of the drawers was, or the track for the drawer was coming a little bit off, so I'm just securing it with wood glue and some staples using my electric stapler. And now it's nice and secure, and the drawer won't fall forward. All right, so now the paint is fully dry. I did do 2 coats of the chalk paint. I am distressing it with my electric sander, and I'm actually using a 120 grit sandpaper. Normally I use a 220 grit, but in this case I wanted the edges to have a pretty heavy distress, so I'm using the 120, but I could have definitely used a 220. It would have been fine as well. I am doing all the sides, smoothing all the surfaces down, but on the edges and details, I am giving it a little bit more muscle to make sure that it distresses. I'm going to do the same thing on the drawers. And on the drawers, I am keeping it in real time so you can see here how quickly you can distress using the electric sander. Now you can do it by hand. It just requires a little bit more muscle and elbow grease, but to be honest with you, it's completely doable. Chalk paint distress is really nice, but with the electric sander, it's just a lot easier. And because I prefer a distressed look, I'm okay with letting the electric sander kind of do its thing, and I'm okay with the end result. But you have to be willing to do that, you know, it distressed a little bit too much in that corner, that kind of thing. I'm okay with that, but if you want a little bit more control, I would say then do it by hand. All right, so I am sealing it here with a new sealer, or a new top coat that I had not used before. This is by BIBEautyonpurpose. It's one of their top coats in the crystal clear. I'll link it down below so you see it. And basically I'm going to do 3 coats on the top, and then I'll do 2 everywhere else. The top will probably have the most wear and tear, so I want to make sure it's nice and durable. And I do want to say I'm using a synthetic brush. This is a very, very soft bristle. I love using it, especially on white furniture, because you don't see any of the strokes or brush strokes. But if it had any color, I usually prefer to use the sponge applicator because it's very easy to use and it does not leave any brush strokes. Again, all these things that I'm mentioning are on the description box. All right, so now that the top coats are fully dry, I am going to use a wax in a dark brown by Dixie Belle. This is the Best Dang Wax. That's what it's called, actually. And I'm using it to give it some dimension. Now, the reason why you want to seal it before you wax is because if you do not seal it, the top or the wax would not remove as easily as it's removing now. You would not have as much control. To be honest with you, it would totally change the color of your paint. So you want to make sure that you seal before, unless you want to change the color. But so I'm just using it in the corners, on the edges. I'm just shadowing. Basically, I'm just shadowing some of the details, some of the corners and areas, just to give it some dimension. So here I'm showing you what it looks like without and then with the wax. So it kind of looks just a little grungier, has some like antique look to it. Now the white crisp tone is my absolute preferred. I love the white. I love how the white and the distress kind of contrast each other. In this case, I just wanted to do something a little different, and so that's why I waxed. I'll do the same on the top of the dresser as well. Alright, so I let the wax cure, and then now I am just replacing the knobs. Again, I didn't do anything with them because they were in such a good shape, and the natural patina that it had was beautiful. Alright guys, so this is what the dresser looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. I love this little dresser. I wish I can keep it. I just don't have, anywhere for it right now, but hopefully I can find, or it can find, a new home to be its forever home. So this is it for today, guys. I am so glad you watched. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. It's right underneath this video. If you want to hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of my videos, I invite you to do so. So have a great day, everyone, and thanks for watching.